But Winters wrote this to Dieta after the wedding. In fact, shortly before they leave for the marshalling areas. So Leo's getting married just before they go. Okay, he said, "Dear Dieta, yesterday we had 2 weddings here in camp. One officer married a girl from Scotland, and a fine bonny lass she is, too. And the staff sergeant from my company married a local girl. I went to the sergeant's wedding. That was the first church wedding I ever attended, and what an ordeal that is. It's worse than jumping from a plane in flight. Not for me. Why, my legs were quivering, and I was just an onlooker. Men being men, and men being what men are, there were naturally a few tricks, besides a lot of the usual ribbing. They stole the ring just before he left for the church, unbeknownst to him, and returned it during the ceremony just before the time for the ring, so all were sweating that one out. Next they had some signs, target for tonight. This is the result of careless talk, placed in strategic places. Then, as they were leaving the church, a beautiful smoke screen was placed upwind, and in the confusion, the bride was whisked away in a taxi. They brought her back in half an hour, but if time hadn't been valuable, I'll bet that she'd still be missing." So that happened right down there. Do you remember the wedding, Paul? Were you there?
I wasn't there, no.
No. Yep. Yep. Another funny story that Forrest told me, when he was here, he and a bunch of the guys went out on the town, and they decided it was time for them to become men. So they got picked up in a taxi, and they said, "We need a bottle," and the taxi driver got them a bottle, and then they got up the courage to say, "Well, we need some girls." And the taxi driver said, "All right, you just wait right here, and I'll go take care of it." The taxi driver speeds off, and Forrest and his buddies are sitting there, and then they start to think, "Well, what would our moms think?" Boy, I don't know. And they all got really nervous. So they hid under a shed next to the house where they were standing. There was 4 of them, and they hid there for about an hour, and they kept seeing the taxis circling the block. So after the taxi had gone away, these rough, tough paratroopers got up and slunk back to camp. So
their moms would be proud.
Their moms would be proud.
Places that this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, the park across the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut trees, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll